Good evening, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. It is a Saturday. It's February 21st, 2015, and I am home while everyone else is out partying and having a good time. But I figured I'd bring this up because Barron's has a great piece out this weekend. I think it was right in the front, first couple pages. If you look back, they've also had some stinkers over the years. Back in 2014, April, they talked about the bear. There was a big bull, on the front cover saying the bull was tired. Oh my goodness. Well, 20% later to the upside, the bull has obviously regained whatever tiredness that bull had lost. And if you look back, I think it was November 2013, Facebook was a $14 stock. Oh my goodness. Even if you switch those numbers around, you're still 100% off. It's now over $80 a share. But if you look back to 2000, the price per earnings ratio, there's only two stocks in 2000 for the top 10 of the NASDAQ Composite Index that are still trading in the top 10 of the NASDAQ Composite Index today, which would be Microsoft and Intel. Look at Microsoft, 57 PE in 2015, 16. Intel in 2043. And in 2015, it's 14. You look at some of the comparable numbers here, it's just pretty crazy. You look at Cisco, 127, Oracle, 103, Qualcomm, 123, Yahoo, 418. It just all puts it into perspective. I mean, this market, as much as you want to say it's a bubble, it's going to crash. Sure, there's prices that are blown far beyond what you would normally expect in a normal market without incredible asset price manipulation and 0% interest rate policy. But a lot of the stocks out there are kind of trading at a reasonable level. Look at the market on Friday. Greece came out. And it's funny because heading into the week, we had that drop down because Greece delayed the meeting. And I see a lot of people on Twitter like, my goodness, stock futures were only down 0.1%, 0.15%. And look, every kind of pullback we had in the market was bought, as every dip gets bought in this market since the lows of March 2009. But what the market was telling you on the lack of a giant drop, the market was pricing in the fact that Greece was going to come to an agreement. If you look at the blog, and I tweeted a little bit ago, been talking about this since 2011. And back in 2011, JB from UpsMillionaires.com was talking about Greece, and it was the same thing. It was like, oh, they might get out of the euro. Oh, this is going to be catastrophic. And JB was saying the fact that the market was not making these big moves to the downside, the market was pricing in the fact that Greece was not going to get kicked out of the euro. Now we've got a 4-month extension, and who knows what's going to happen. They said the market looks ahead 6 months. But if you look what the market's telling you right here, the reaction we had, it's telling you that Greece is not an issue. Either that or they just don't give a rat's behind. Now if you look from a long-term chart perspective, let's look at the S&P 500. Broke out of consolidation. You can bring up consolidation here that we had. Broke out of it to the upside. We had a similar kind of consolidation with the IWM from a longer term 1.5-year consolidation we broke out of. Look at the QQQ. Now this is where Barron's was talking about the bull being tired, and look at the move we've had ever since. We broke out of this broadening descending wedge. I talked about this at Stock Twits also at the blog at OptionMillionaires.com. We consolidated a bit, and then I was talking about this $100 level as a point of support. It did not want to break it. It broke it briefly, and look at this. We vaulted over long-term trend line resistance. Boom, to the upside. What is it, like 9 straight days of positive returns for the QQQ. Beautiful. Why fight this? At some point, this is going to all come to just a disastrous end. But until that time comes, why fight this trend? This market, you can see it, every dip getting bought since the lows of March 2009. Dip, buy, dip, buy. I kind of joked around about it the last couple trading sessions. We did have a pullback. I was looking for a little bit of a pullback. I got the pullback. I had some Disney puts. We had a pullback to start the day on Friday. Great pullback, and then we rallied. So you have to expect these rallies. It's Pavlov's dog. Back in 2009, 2010, there was a piece of meat getting this dog drooling and ready to buy the dip. And now the dip just comes and the dog drools without that piece of meat there. So let's look at some individual stocks here. Simon Property Group, some of the real estate investment trusts, still looks pretty bearish to me. If you look from a longer term, we hit record highs, and I think supports here about the 187 level. We're going to get down to 180. I know it's pretty wild calling for something to actually go down in this marketplace, And I think that's what's going to make this really a great market in 2015. Everybody's talking about how this market's just been, hey, you know what, buy the SPY, buy the IWN. I think individual names are just going to work so well in 2015 as the market consolidates. Look at Boston Property Group. I think this has got a sharp move coming in the short term to the downside under 130. Home Depot broke out to new all-time record highs, fell on Thursday, and it came all the way back. Look at this consolidation. Tough to play any kind of put trade or trade against this stock going forward until we start to see some sort of a topping pattern. So keep that in mind. How about crude oil? Crude oil coming into this week coming up looks very bearish to me. Looks like some sort of head and shoulders topping pattern here. We got a left shoulder, a head, right shoulder. It's a little sloppy, but it looks like the similar pattern that we saw back at the start of the week. So we're going to get some weakness here, and I think we're going to break under the $50 level on crude oil, which is going to bring USO. And if you look at USO, I had a great pop on Friday. Off OTL, which is another theme I like. OTL is another term I like. Off the lows, but looks poised to break down to lower levels. GDX, also keep an eye on this one. Tried to get up to the long-term trend line. Former support, now resistance. Looks like it's breaking down. Break down! I told you I was going to sing a song. Did I? Sing a song. But you look at FCX, hit a low here. This is one of the stocks I was talking about. We're just going to break down. And look at this, 38 down to 17. What a mess. What a great call. Just a little pat on my back. I don't get them right all the time. I really don't. I'm not the perfect trader. If I was a perfect trader, I'd be on Twitter all day long just typing, tweets about how great I was instead of actually making profitable trades. I'd be like, hey, a trade a day keeps the doctor away or something, You see some of those tweeters out there. Tweeters. Like, hey, if I was trading profitably, I probably wouldn't be on Twitter all day. I'm not on Twitter all day. Okay. So let's look at some other stocks to watch. This is a stock. I'm going to do a post on this. I'm looking at Ross Stores. Say that 6 times quick. Ross Stores. Okay. See the breakout here? I'm looking for this gap to get filled. Down at about the $83 level. We're going to clean breakout. This is the earnings gap up. I was actually on the wrong side of this trade. I lost money on this trade. I did. I do make losing trades, folks. I am human. I'm only human. Wow. It is Saturday night. I should be doing karaoke somewhere. Born to make mistakes. Wow. So we're breaking out here to 97.50. But guess what? About 20% of Ross Stores. I feel like saying Roth Stores, but it's Ross Stores. Ross Stores. 20% of them, I think, are in Texas. And then we have some of, I don't know, something's going on. Texas, I think they're losing jobs. There's, I don't know, if they oil down there or something. So anyway, I'm being sarcastic, slightly. The point is the risk. Let's pull it up. Let me pull this up. Let's get into this. Let's dive into this trade here real quick. The market's pricing in a $3 move. And you look at the March options, $5. Okay, so we can get potentially, let's look at the 95 puts. This is a trade right there. There it is. Ding, ding, ding. The 95s or the 92.50s. The 95s are so close to the money, $2.92 away. So we're going to move to about 93.20 just in the next week or two, and we probably make about 60%. That's what I'm looking for. So there it is. That's the bonus chart. Ding, ding, ding. Bonus chart. So I'm looking for a move down in Ross Stores. At least, even if it doesn't come down to this former gap right, in the next couple weeks, just look at the support here at 92.50, I think. Let's pull up the indicators. Let's see. Oh, we're starting to get overbought there. Look, the last time we were overbought, right here, right at the start of 2015, we had a nice pullback from 97.50, which is pretty much where we are now, down to about 92.50. Wow. Isn't that nice? This worked out great. All right, kind of extended my time here, but everyone have a great trading week coming up. It's a full week, unlike last week, and hopefully it's going to be full of excitement. I don't know. With Greece out of the way for the next 4 months, man, we got to have something. There's got to be something coming up. We got, it's going to be so boring. All right, UPB here. Hey, by the way, stop in the chat room. Priceline. JB was, tweeting the heck out of that. The $1,200 puts at calls, excuse me. 87 cents. I put that up in Twitter. Those ended up being $29. Woo! Priceline, by the way, if you weren't around last week, reported earnings and gapped above long-term trend line resistance up to this level here. Hi, here I am. And so the $1,200 calls were 87 cents when JB bought them, I don't know, about here somewhere, posted them in the Option Millionaire's private Twitter account. Those went from 87 cents to $29. So if you bought $870 worth of those options on, I don't know, Thursday, you could have sold them for $29,000, almost 30 grand. Wow. All right, that's enough. You, baby, everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the chat room. Send an email to optionmillionaires@gmail.com to come check out the chat room, because I do these wonderful songs and audio and some decent trade ideas. Garmin, how about Garmin? Garmin 5250 puts. Yeah, they worked out pretty well. And I brought this chart up, and I put a nice little arrow because I thought it was going to head lower, and whoo! Those 5250s ended the week at $3 from, I don't know, 50 cents. So they were a 300 and something % gain. That was my pretty much lone earnings trade all week. So 300% a week keeps the, I don't know, something away. That's not even funny. And neither am I. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.